Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Romesh Piris, read by Sounditavam. Ayurveda hospitals to be converted into COVID-19 treatment centres. Travel restrictions to be lifted only for essentials activities. COVID-19 cases reported on the rise. The Disaster Management Centre says several rivers are nearing flood level amid the prevailing inclement weather. The Sri Lanka Air Force on standby for a possible disaster due to the inclement weather. Drone cameras used to monitor violators of quarantine regulations. In international news, the former BBC journalist says he never wanted to harm Diana, Princess of Wales. In sports, it's cricket. The BCB president calls into question Bangladesh's shot selection in the first ODI against Sri Lanka. The Ministry of Health has decided to convert 50 Ayurveda hospitals across the island into intermediate COVID-19 treatment centres. The decision has been made at a special discussion held today with the Minister of Health, Pavitra Vanyarachi, on the advice of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. With the conversion of the Ayurveda hospitals into treatment centres, 3,500 more beds will be available for COVID-19 patients. The minister stated the staff members of the selected Ayurveda hospitals will be provided formal training on COVID-19 treatment methods. In addition, the relevant staff would also be vaccinated against the virus. The head of the National Operations Centre for the Prevention of COVID-19 Outbreak, General Shavendra Silva, stated that the travel restrictions imposed in the island will only be relaxed and not removed on Tuesday, May 25th. The island-wide travel restrictions that came into effect from 11 p.m. on Friday, May 21st, will be relaxed at 4 a.m. on Tuesday, May 25th, and will be reimposed at 11 p.m. on the same day. The Army commander emphasised that the sole purpose of relaxing travel restrictions on Tuesday is to allow the public to purchase essential goods and services such as food and medicine. Meanwhile, the Department of Government Information said only essential goods and service providers, such as groceries selling food items, pharmacies and filling stations, will be allowed to remain open when the travel restrictions are relaxed. In addition, only one person per household will be allowed to go out for the purchasing of essential items. The department said the implementation of travel restrictions for the coming weekend, that is May 29th and 30th, will be determined after reviewing the situation on May 28th. The Ministry of Health reported another 2,254 persons who tested positive for the coronavirus today. This brings the total number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country thus far to 163,496. All new cases are associated with the New Year COVID-19 cluster. Presently, 33,711 infected patients are being treated at hospitals and treatment centres across the island. Meanwhile, the number of total recoveries has reached 128,607. The death toll due to the virus has risen to 1,178. The Sri Lanka Air Force said that 9 helicopters have been prepared and are on standby for relief and rescue operations in the event of a disaster due to inclement weather. Air Force spokesman Group Captain Dushan Vijayasinghe said that the commander of the Air Force, Air Marshal Sudarshana Pathirana, has instructed the Air Force to deploy aircraft and related personnel in response to any request made by the Disaster Management Centre for disaster relief and rescue operations. The DMC has warned of possible floods and flash floods in several parts of the island in the next few days due to the low-pressure area in the Bay of Bengal and the onset of the southwest monsoon. The spokesman said that troops of the Special Task Force of the Air Force Regiment are currently preparing for rescue operations. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Now, EPF information and services through an SMS from HDFC Bank.
The The Sri Lanka police say that drone cameras will be used to monitor and apprehend violators of quarantine regulations. The police media spokesperson DIG Adit Rohan has said the monitoring process was carried out around the housing complexes in Colombo and the suburbs. Meanwhile, a total of 369 persons have been arrested for contravening the quarantine regulations set in place to curb the spread of the coronavirus in the country. Sri Lanka is currently under island-wide travel restrictions, which commenced at 11 p.m. on Friday, May 21st. The restrictions will be temporarily lifted at 4 a.m. on Thursday, May 25th, only to be reimposed at 11 p.m. on the same day. Subsequently, the travel restriction will again be lifted at 4 a.m. on May 28th. The Department of Excise has directed that all licensed liquor outlets are to remain closed on Tuesday, May 25th. The island-wide travel restriction imposed from 11 p.m. on May 21st is set to be lifted at 4 a.m. on May 25th. However, the restrictions will return to be in effect from 11 p.m. on the same day. It is scheduled to be lifted again on the 28th of May at 4 a.m. The travel restrictions have been imposed to curb the spread of the COVID-19 in the country. And that's local news.
දැන් HDFC බැංකුවෙන් EPF ණයතොරතුරු හා සේවාවන් SMS එකකින්
රාජ්‍ය හා පෞද්ගලිකංශයේ රැකියාවේ නියුතු ඔබ කොහේ සිටියත් EPF ණයතොරතුරු හා සේවාවන් ලබා ගැනීම සඳහා කළ යුත්තේ EPF හිස්තැනක් නම හා ප්‍රදේශය සඳහන් කර 071 8 800 999ට SMS එකක් එවීම පමණයි.
HDFC බැංකුව ඔබ අප සුරකින්න බැංකුව.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Disaster Management Centre says several rivers are nearing flood level amid the prevailing inclement weather. The Director General of the DMC, retired Major General Sudhanta Ranasinghe, has said the Kalani, Ging, Nilvala and Kukule rivers and the Dadur Oya are at risk level at present. The DMC Director General urged the public in low-lying areas to remain vigilant in this regard. He also requested the public to remain vigilant pertaining to landslide warnings. He added that strong winds have also been predicted in the central hills. Meanwhile, the National Building Research Organisation has issued a Level 1 landslide early warning for parts of Gaul, Kalutara, Kagalla, Ratnapura and the Nuwara districts. The NBRO has warned that should residents see the development of cracks, ground subsidence, slanting of trees, cracks on floors built on slopes, sudden appearance of springs or muddy water, they should alert the authorities immediately. And that came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
In Watchlight, arrangements have been made to provide the services of the Employees Provident Fund Department by post, email, internet or through the branches of commercial banks due to the travel restrictions imposed in the country without requiring the member to visit the head office in Colombo and regional offices of the central bank to obtain the respective services. Due to the prevailing pandemic, it is requested to strictly limit the visiting to the Employees Provident Fund Department and the regional offices of the central bank. Further information could be obtained by visiting the website of the Employees Provident Fund Department, www.epf.lk. Repeating, www.epf.lk. That came to you in Watchlight, and moving on to world news in the headlines. The former BBC journalist says he never wanted to harm Diana, Princess of Wales. Queen Elizabeth visits the UK's largest warship. A dead after accident near Lake Maggiore in Italy. Martin Bashir has said he never wanted to harm Diana, Princess of Wales, with a 1995 interview with Panorama, adding that he does not believe he did. An independent inquiry concluded that the former BBC journalist used deception to get the interview. Speaking to the Sunday Times, Bashir said he was deeply sorry to her sons, the Dukes of Cambridge and Sussex. But he rejected Prince William's claim that he fuelled her paranoia, saying they were close and he loved her. Bashir said Princess Diana was never unhappy about the content of the interview and said they remained friends after the programme was aired. Britain's Queen Elizabeth visited the country's new aircraft carrier, giving the UK's biggest warship a royal send-off before it leads a flotilla of British, US and Dutch ships to Asian waters on its maiden operational voyage. The 95-year-old monarch stepped aboard the HMS Queen Elizabeth in Portsmouth 7 years after she named the vessel alongside her late husband Prince Philip, who died last month. The UK Defence Minister said in a statement that the Queen spent her time aboard meeting crew members and wishing them luck in what will be an unforgettable life experience by being part of the naval history. At least 8 people have been killed after a cable car fell near Lake Maggiore in northern Italy. Local emergency services said the accident happened on a service transporting passengers from the resort town of Stresa in the Piedmont region. Alpine Rescue and Air Helicopter Emergency Services have responded to the accident. Italian media reported 2 children were taken from the scene to hospital. The cable car usually takes 20 minutes to transport passengers 1,491 metres above sea level up the Motorone mountain. Back to the headlines of the world news. The former BBC journalist says he never wanted to harm Diana, Princess of Wales. Queen Elizabeth visits the UK's largest warship, and 8 dead after accident near Lake Maggiore in Italy. That concludes this bulletin of world news. On to development news. The Cabinet approval has been granted to pay compensation for 20 identified projects under the Land Acquisition and Restoration Committee scheme and the Restoration Special Committee scheme. The relevant orders have been issued in accordance with the provision of the Land Acquisition Act. The Cabinet approval has been granted to follow the similar procedure for lands acquired for the following projects: the Colombo-based urban development project, the railway project from Kurunegala to Habarana via Dambulla, strategic urban development projects, and grid substations and transmission line project under the funds of the Asian Development Bank. That came to you in Development News.
Sports News is brought to you by...
When Aya bought a motorbike, he bought 2 helmets. So sweet of him. I'm sure the other one is for me.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
In sports news, it's cricket. Nazmul Hasan, the BCB president, has called into question Bangladesh's shot selection in the first ODI against Sri Lanka, their preparation ahead of the series, and the merit of using Lytton Das as an opener in this format. Hasan made his comments in a press briefing during the innings break after Bangladesh had made 257 for 6 on a tricky surface in Dhaka, an unusually prompt response from the chief, who usually waits till the end of a match before giving his reaction. In the first day-night ODI in Dhaka of Sri Lanka's tour of Bangladesh, Bangladesh won by 33 runs, restricting Sri Lanka to 224 runs or 48.1 overs. That's sports news. Business news up next.
My wife always sets a full lunch table, even if it's just the 2 of us. She always expects people to drop by, like maybe the army.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Sri Lankan Airlines and Boeing, the leading aerospace company in the USA, signed a collaboration MOU in Colombo, Sri Lanka recently. The new agreement would enable both parties to explore airframe maintenance, component maintenance, training and other commercial opportunities. The signing took place as a hybrid event in the presence of Sri Lankan Airlines CEO, the head of engineering and the sales director for Boeing, while other dignitaries joined virtually. That's business news, economic news to follow.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Dealers said the Sri Lankan rupee was inactive in the forex market on Friday, while bond yields edged up as the country went into a coronavirus lockdown to contain a spike in coronavirus infections in the country. Sri Lanka has imposed a travel restriction from May 21st to May 28th, with a one-day break in between on May 25th, as health officials are trying to contain the spread of a third wave of COVID-19 infections. The country also suspended all inbound passengers from May 23rd to May 31st. Meanwhile, the Colombo Stock Exchange confirmed that trading will function as per regular trading hours from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. on the 24th, 25th and the 28th of May 2021. However, the market will be closed on the 26th and 27th of May 2021 due to Wesak Poya holidays. That's economic news.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Meteorology Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central, northwestern and southern provinces as the southwest monsoon is gradually establishing over the country. In its weather forecast for the next 36 hours, the Meteorology Department cautioned that nearly 100 millimeters rainfall can be expected at some places in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Galle and Matara districts. Meanwhile, several spells of showers will occur in the northern and north-central provinces. Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the eastern and Uva provinces during the evening or night. The Meteorology Department further said that the wind speeds can increase up to 40 to 50 kilometers per hour at times over the island, and especially the wind speed can increase up to 50 to 55 kilometers per hour at times in the western slopes of the Central Hills, northern, north-central, northwestern and Uva provinces and in the Hambantota district.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription.